Welcome back, my friends. I gotta be honest, I'm a little chilly today because RegoFix is freezing me, but it's okay. I'm like the Swiss snow in the Alps when I cracked my ribs. More importantly, I got Derek on camera today, and you want to hear about HWR, not my cracked rib, not my sledding through the Alps and my experiences there, not even that I'm freezing and have chill bumps everywhere, because this is about manufacturing and this is about HWR. The first question I have, Derek, there's a lot of work holding out there, my friend.
A lot of it.
And work holding is so very important because I've run machines before that were gripping onto a part and they got ripped right out because they weren't being held on correctly.
That's right, yeah.
Where do you think HWR really stands out in the world of work holding?
Well, there's a lot of key points I would focus on, but to be honest, it's really our modularity and what sets us apart, our internal components that separate us from the competition. And just the reliability and precision in our products. So it's a really good focus for us to be, thinking about our customers' needs, right? It's very important if you buy an expensive machine, but then your work holding doesn't complement that machine very well, and that's just a shame to see, right? You go into some of these shops and they're just, they have this beautiful machine and then an old nasty vise or, just no quick change where you're losing money, losing opportunity. So it's important for us to focus on those things.
You are already speaking my language, Derek, because I've said it before, I will again, I will tomorrow and the next day. You have already touched on my pet peeve. These companies out there who buy a machine and then skimp out on the products that go inside of the machine.
Exactly.
And work holding is so very important. I laugh a little bit. I was laughing on the inside, trying not to make too much noise while you said that, that rusted vise, that beat up vise that's in a machine, but it's so true. And then as we move into what's important now, Derek, and I know this is important to you as well, it's the modularity, as you mentioned, and being able to take a vise off, put a new one on, keep the machine spindle running, whether we're on pallet change systems and moving in new parts for a high mix, low volume, whether we're on a, say, a three-axis machine, and we're trying to get on that table and get that spindle up and going again. It's all very important to be accurate, modular, flexible. This is all what HWR does, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Just to fit together like Legos, right? You got one job here, and the next one's completely different size, whatever it is. Needs a new setup, you can do it in a couple seconds.
Let's go over some of these products.
Yeah,
I know that we want
to
look and see what you actually have on the table. I'm excited to learn more. I know the audience is as well. You have a couple of very specific lines we're going to go over today to go along with the quick change systems.
Yeah, so HWR, we have two main lines. The solid line is our milling products here, and this includes our quick change plates and our vices. So again, for any of your milling machines that you need quick change or just high precision work holding, this is exactly where you want to be at. And for instance here, if you could you hold my mic for just
Absolutely,
1 second?
my friend.
And then, you got this here, this quick change plate is kind of where it would all start. The Legos begins here. And then you have your plate off to the side here if you need to pop that on there. Lock it down and you're ready to go within just a few seconds there. And so that's, pretty self-explanatory. It repeats within 5 microns, and what kind of sets us apart from the competition are the internal components in these plates. We just have 2 wedges here and a center spindle that runs through the plate, and that's it. It's easy to replace if you have a heavy-handed operator who might get a little heavy with the torque wrench or anything like that. Easy to replace any of those internal components. And so that's pretty much, our quick change plates. They come in the standard 52, 96 millimeter pattern, which is the industry standard seemingly now. And as far as vices go, it's a self-centering vise, very similar to a lot of things out there on the market. Again, repeats at 5 microns, high precision, high quality vise. Come in the 46 millimeter wide, 77 or 125 is that big guy right there. That's one of our biggest vices that we sell, and it's just a monster in my opinion. So,
Derek, when I look at some of this, I'm actually going to admit to something, is I always thought it was better to over-torque everything and realized later in my career that is not the case.
Not the case.
So I would have been that guy that needed to call you and ask for a repair.
That's a pricey habit, my friend.
It is indeed. The other thing I noticed is I'm seeing some teeth on each of these, but I'm also seeing some dovetail in here as well. So for my softer materials, maybe I'm gripping the teeth, and for my harder materials, I'm getting a little dovetail in there, both for rigidity.
So yes, exactly. And actually not displayed here is our stamping unit, which actually pre-indents a part and eliminates the need for a dovetail. And it matches our serration, so your repeatability is there. And also, your tools are going to last longer. There's less vibration on the part. It's just a system I would recommend. And all these parts here are pre-stamped.
And as I'm looking at most of these, this is like almost a mini tombstone.
Exactly.
I'm looking at milling right here, but if I slide over to this side, it looks like you're working on maybe a turning center, or even if you wanted to utilize a chuck and a vertical milling center, you could.
Exactly.
But ultimately, this one looks a little bit different from everything else we were looking at on the other side.
Right, and so this actually takes us into the Inol line, which is all our turning products. And this here is actually just a manual version of our chuck. And the unique thing about our chucks is they're self-centering and compensating. And so the way it's designed, these two jaws work codependently. So one side will move in, and the other side, as soon as it senses any amount of pressure, the other side will come in and clamp it. And again, this repeats at 5 microns, just like all of our products here. So that's kind of an HWR specialty, something that really sets us apart from the competition.
I was going to make a really bad dad joke about having to go to India so many times because I wish I was self-balancing as well. But this technology is real. I don't think I've seen this before, and that's quite clever.
Yeah. Those guys are smart over there. And then the other thing that we have, if you have a 3-jaw chuck and you have a deformation-sensitive part, thin-walled, you can take your jaws off your 3-jaw and pop this bad boy right on there, using HWR's special technology there, and it will sit on your chuck and it can swivel to make sure that the part is compensated for, and change your contact points from 3 to 6. And so those are the main products in our Inol line that really set us apart.
Derek, you started this conversation off by allowing me to ask you the question of what sets you apart, what makes you different, what makes you superior product for folks who might be interested in HWR. And you said modular and flexibility and reliability, and you just proved all of that by being able to switch out jaws, by being able to quick change on a 0 point, by utilizing the teeth as well as the dovetail. All of this seems like whatever is going on in my shop, you have an answer for as far as work holding. Now, maybe not all the problems I got going on in the back, but when it comes to holding a piece of material, right, you can handle that.
Exactly, 100%. And it's that's really important to us to be able to make sure that any initial investment you have with maybe another work holding company or us, we can make sure we can come in there and accommodate all your needs. It's really important for us to be able to make sure that we're not making customers overspend for anything. We don't want to do that. Shops need to make sure the bottom line's correct, and we're here to help with that too. So.
Yeah, very well said. And the last thing I want to ask you, Derek, as we look around, and obviously our cameraman's working his butt off for us today, spinning all the way around and getting real close on your products. But in doing so, he's also showcased the fact that we are at RegoFix today, and there are a lot of partners around. So my question about partnership when it comes to HWR and RegoFix is, what is this like for you? Why did you guys get together, and the benefits of working together with like-minded precision companies?
Right, so we're relatively new in the U.S., and we wanted to make sure that our outreach was, we're utilizing every channel we could to make sure the word got out about us. And then when we met the guys at RegoFix, we saw a great opportunity to be able to partner with them, show our products off, and also get their expertise, right? Somebody that knows machining and can combine that with our work holding to make a really great relationship between the two of us. And it's been a great experience so far, and we're really glad to be partnered.
Yeah, and I agree. And part of the pet peeve that I mentioned earlier, and I think RegoFix shares some of that, is let's make the inside quality as good as the outside quality of the machines that we're investing in. HWR does that. Obviously, RegoFix does that. The power grip is making sure that we all have the rigidity and quick change we need, much like the quick change we have here. It all comes together. It's all a family at this point, and every single piece of this family is making you better in your shops as well. This is my buddy Derek. This is HWR. This is modular, flexible, and quick change systems for your factory, your machine shop, to make sure you're going to improve and do well moving into the future. So Derek, thank you so much for your time. I absolutely appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to run out into the sun. I got to warm up. I still am cold. Whew.